welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be all about how to get motivated and reach your goals. This is kind of my tips, so what I like to do, just kind of sharing my thoughts about that with you. Before I get into it, if you have not subscribed yet, please hit that button so you don't miss a video from me. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And you can also go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you'd like. It's DannyXO2_. It is on the bottom of the screen. And yeah, let's just get started with the video. First thing I want to say is I know literally everyone, myself included, will sometimes get in these things where you're like, how do you like stay motivated, or how do you like how do you work out every day, da da da. Like, it's literally, it's just discipline. Like it's not even like people say like, oh, like once you do it a lot it becomes a habit. Yes, it does, but also you still have to discipline yourself, because there's so many times, like with working out for instance, that you just don't feel like doing it. Now yes, sometimes like you do, like you need to rest, like you need to have a rest day and you're tired, like you need a rest day. That's different. But if you just like, you want to work out, but like you want to work out but you don't want to work out, you know what I'm saying, like you want to but then you like, you can't get yourself to do it. If that happens, that happens all the time. Like, it happens to everybody. All the workout like queens that you see on Instagram, it happens to them, you know. It happens to everybody. There's just days where you're just like, you just want to be lazy. You have to stop yourself before those excuses come, and you have to like tell yourself that you're gonna do it and that you're gonna make it a good workout and you're gonna push through. And that is something that I really realized when I was on bikini prep, because that is like, you know, strict. Like, you can't just miss workouts. You know, you have a coach that you have to like report to, and you have to tell her what you did. And if you don't, if you're not seeing results, like if the weight didn't drop on the scale, or if you gained inches or something like that, you know, she's gonna be like, she's gonna ask you like, okay, well, did you do that? Like, she's gonna be expecting that you're doing everything, and so that she can like change your plan a little bit if it's not working. But if your plan is fine and you're just not putting in the work, then she's going to change it for no reason, and then it could backfire on you. So anyway, that's something that I really realized when I was on bikini prep, is that, you know, you have to make yourself, a lot of times, like you just have to make yourself do things, and then by the end of it or by the middle of it, you forget all about that you didn't want to do it, and now you're like in it and you're going, and you've had momentum, you know, you've picked up momentum. So that's always, you know, people say like, all you have to do is start. That's literally all it is. Like, once you start, momentum keeps it going. So that's one thing that I know that I've learned. But yeah, it's just literally, it just kind of, one, it is a habit after you do it for a while. Like, give yourself like 3 weeks or 2 to 3 weeks of just doing it consistently, and then you'll get to the point where you don't want to not work out, because you feel so much better when you do. Secondly, I would say invest in a whiteboard, you guys, or a couple whiteboards, some little ones and some big ones, like I'm telling you. So whiteboards make it really easy to just kind of jot things down, or to write like goals on that you want to keep up for a while. It's different than writing in a journal or writing on a piece of paper, because when you write on a piece of paper, it's just like, whiteboards are they're just easy to erase and write on, and just like, you can just kind of go crazy on them. And they're like visible, like they're not like closing in a notebook and put away like underneath something. Like, you will always see it if you keep it in your view, or if you don't, if you do put it away somewhere, you can just get it out easily, and it's open and it's there, and you can just scribble all over. It's just easier and simpler, and it's just, there's something different about it. And if you have whiteboard, if you're with me on this, you know what I mean. But I would just invest in a whiteboard. I mean, they're cheap, they're not expensive. So I have this little one here that was literally like, I don't know, $5 from Walmart. This is like one that I write on every single day. So I'll write out like what I'm gonna do each day. Like, I kind of write out the hours and then what I'm doing. That's just what I like to do. That's not for everybody, but that's just what I like to do, so I can plan out my day and kind of see how it's gonna go, and have something to follow and look at and check off. I like checking off things. It makes me feel accomplished. I also use this to write my workouts on. So if I like create a workout that day, like this one, I kind of wrote it right here, and I'll write how many like sets or reps, and then I'll cross them off as I go. So that makes it easy to keep track of your workouts and things. So I really like this one. This is what I use every single day, just to jot quick things down, and I'll just set it on my desk, like up leaning against my wall, so I can just look at it and say, okay, like what time is it? Like, I should be doing this right now. It just helps me stay productive and moving if I know that I have certain things that I need to do by certain times, because otherwise you kind of don't know like what time, especially on quarantine, you don't know what time it is and like or day. Okay, so like I like to have this to like keep me track. It kind of keeps you accountable too, because you're like, oh, like I'm supposed to do this at this time, and like it's already this time and I'm just sitting around. Like, okay, that means I need to get going. Then I have this big one here, so it's not that big. I'm not going to show you the front actually because I have all my goals written on it. It's pretty big. It's not that big, but this is how big it is. It's a whiteboard. The other side is white. But yeah, I use this to write down, literally you can write down anything you want to. You can write down inspirational quotes or sayings or goals. I have YouTube ideas on here and goals right now, and then how to reach those goals. And then you can get little cute magnets. I just find these really useful and helpful, and they're really fun to like draw on and create things on. The next thing I would say is books. So I'm not a huge reader, but I do like to read these every now and then, just kind of read a couple pages a day. But like self-help books, guys, like they do help, okay? They put your head in a different like mind space, you know? So I have like Become a Better You, Never Give Up. Then this book called Her by Pierre Gianti, I think that's how you say his name. This is good. It's just like a little like poem book. It just has like short little poems on it. I just read like one a day and I'll post them on my Instagram. They just have really good sayings. I mean, it's for a girl if you are a woman, especially if you're single. A good book for you. And then I have this one. So this is a devotional, so I really do recommend you guys get a devotional, whether you want to read devotionals online. The Jesus Calling one is super good. This one is called Jesus Today. It's by the same author, but it's a little bit different. It's not as good as the other one, but just a devotional to kind of start your morning off in like a good way. So if you're not like a big into reading, and it's honestly something quick and easy that you can read, and like I said, just put your head in a good like space. So it's just like basically like 2 paragraphs, and then these are like scriptures on the other page. So yeah, I recommend getting one of those to start off your day with. And then a journal. So journaling is very helpful in a lot of ways. I'm sure you've heard people talk about it before, but you can literally journal. You can write down all your feelings and thoughts, and that really helps to just get it out on a paper. You can write down literally everything: goals, quotes, scriptures, prayers. That's something that I really like to do in my journal, is write down prayers, because sometimes, like, I don't know what it is, but sometimes like writing it down is just better. It helps me get everything that I want to say out. And it's just like, I guess the act of like writing it, I don't know what it is, but anyway, you can write prayers. You don't always have to like speak them. You can write them, or you can write it and then read it if you want. But yeah, I just really like to have a journal. I like to date mine too, because then I could kind of go back later and read it and be like, wow, like I was in this spot in my life, and this day I was in this spot. Like you can see, it's kind of like a little journey of where you've been. And if, for instance, like you want to work out and you don't, like, you can't really get yourself to or whatever, just literally get up. Like, just literally get up and just try to move. Just like try to do things, because I know, like, I've realized, like, when you first start a workout, maybe sometimes you're not feeling it and you don't want to do it, and you try to do a move and then you're like, then you try to do another move and you're like, like you don't want to do it. But like if you just keep going and just like keep trying different like moves, different types of workouts, maybe you look some up on Google, try yoga, try stretching, just try dancing. As long as you're like getting up and moving, you can even go on a walk. It just makes you feel better in the end, just because you literally got up and were moving. And also, if you just start, like I said, the momentum will keep you going, and then you could end up with the best workout ever. And then the other thing I recommend is a planner. So like I said about the to-do list thing that I write down, it's not for everybody. Planners are not for everybody either, but they're very helpful. And even if a planner isn't for you, I'm sure you would still find it useful. You may not plan out your whole day, or you might not use it for that, but there's still like calendars in here that you can plan out anything. There's just a lot of things that you can write down in here. Like I plan out all of my YouTube videos. I have them all here, like what each day is gonna be, so that I know like what I have planned and if I need to plan more or try to think of a new idea. But yeah, I just think that's really useful too, just to plan out life, like, because how are you going to get anywhere if you don't have a vision? How are you going to get anywhere if you don't have some type of plan? Even if you don't know exactly what you're going to do, like, you have to have some type of plan, because you don't just want to sit around and just like wait for something to happen, you know what I mean? So yeah, I recommend planners, I recommend journals, I recommend books, I recommend devotionals. So unfortunately, there's not like a magic answer to being motivated. I know sometimes if I feel really super unmotivated, I can look up things on Google, look up pictures of motivating things, inspiring things, things that inspire me. You can make a vision board. I have one of those on my wall. And you can make a, here, I'll actually show you because that's actually really good. Okay, so the last really good tool, because I just reminded myself of it, is a vision board. So this is mine. It's pretty big. I'll just kind of show you. So these are super helpful, and this is hung on my wall, so you can kind of have a vision of what you want, and then you can kind of meditate on it if you want to, or it's just something that you see every day. So like literally just seeing it every day kind of just puts it in the back of your head. Even if you don't realize it, it's still there, and then watch, you're gonna end up like, this stuff's gonna end up happening just because it's there. It's because you see it every single day. It's like visually, because now you have like a visual representation of what you want, but with the pictures. But yeah, that's something that I do every year. That really helps me start to feel motivated and inspired for the new year. That is all that I have. Those are all the tips that I have. But like I said, unfortunately, there's no magic answer if you feel unmotivated. But there's a lot of things that can help, a lot of tools that you can use. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's literally about discipline. Obviously treat yourself with love and respect, and if you need a break or you need some rest, then take it, and don't feel bad for taking rest, because we all need that to keep going. But anyway, that is all I have for the video. I hope it could help you a little bit, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.